Our world continues to change and push us in ways we have not been challenged before. On this show, we talk about these challenges, how to be aware of them, face them, and overcome them in your life. This is David Waldas, creator of the Aligned Living System.
And I'm Nick Musica, Aligned Living Coach. Welcome to the Aligned Living System podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Aligned Living System podcast. This is David Waldas with Nick Musica, who is developing his abilities to drink coffee, apparently. Sorry, you all right, brother? Probably just excited about the countdown again. All right, moving forward. Today's episode is, well, I guess we're just dragging over from last week. Last week was about humor and using humor to change states.
and this one's about choking.
Yeah, so we're actually changing topics, Nick. We're gonna talk about something different. Although that was a great lead-in and carryover from last week.
You know, and I was looking at the calendar, going, I love this part.
Yeah, focusing a little more on drinking the coffee, a little less on the excitement about the counter. But right? Yeah, it's all right. So anyways, today's episode is the difference between lateral movement and forward movement, and how to know what we're seeking, and really to reflect on ourselves. You know, we live in a world of algorithms that reflects our perspective back to us over and over again, proving us right. And it is divisive. It keeps us stuck. It does all these things that we really, don't want to be doing, that are not about expansion and personal development, but are about doubling down on this is how it is, reflecting the same reality back over and over again. And so when we think about that, and what we seek out, what are the books we're reading? What are the shows we're watching? What are the documentaries we're watching? Who is it that we're hanging out with? What are the conversations we're having? Are we looking to have our truth just reflected back to us? Or are we actually looking for places that expand us and help us look beyond our current paradigm? And, it's interesting. As soon as I started talking, I had this flashback, and this is something I've talked about several times. Nick and I have talked a lot about working with Bo Eason, and, it's amazing, the transformation going through his warrior mastermind, and then us creating a relationship, and eventually him becoming, a client of mine, and just continuing this really powerful relationship with him. And, I'll never forget sitting in the audience when he starts out with this basically a 3-day event called Personal Story Power. It's done in La Jolla, California. And so good if you can get to it. But in that, you get offered, do you want to continue working with me? And I remember sitting there with the sign-up sheet in my hands, looking at it and contemplating. And I heard this very clear voice that said, any other decision, any other thing that you put your energy into right now is lateral movement. And it was really the perfect thing, the perfect guidance for me, because that felt awful to me, the idea of moving laterally instead of forward. And so I, within 10 seconds, I think I started filling out the form and going, I'm not moving lateral, not another lateral movement. This level's cleared. Like I've been here long enough. It's time for me to take myself to another level of expansion. And this is going to do it very clearly. And so I signed up for the year-long mastermind, and it set in motion a whole series of synchronistic and amazing things. And so, I think that today, really exploring for each of you, as Nick and I dive into this discussion, am I moving laterally? Am I looking for ways to, talk to people that are just going to reflect the same truth back to me? Or am I looking for people that are going to demand more of me, set the bar higher, demand more of myself, and move to a higher level? And we'll talk about what that looks like in selecting coaches in all aspects of life, relationships. Are you looking for complacency, for neutral, for staying where you're at? Or are you really, and it's funny, I bet everybody that's listening to this says, no, I want to expand myself. And so that's great. That's one side of the equation. I want to expand myself. The other side of the equation is, what are the things I'm doing? How am I living my life? What am I surrounding myself with? What am I engaging with? And does it reflect that idea that I really want to expand myself? Or am I just looking for more of the same? And yeah, it's really easy for us to trick ourselves thinking we're trying to expand ourselves when we're looking for more of the same. So we'll talk about that too. So welcome, Nick, again.
Good morning.
Good morning. How
Hmm.
are you, sir?
You're still clearing the throat, but feeling fine otherwise. Yeah,
Yeah,
that whole
yeah.
drinking coffee in the morning thing, it
Got to
can be
practice
tricky.
more, I guess.
It can be tricky. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I had this chocolate lab named Blue, and I lived in the mountains in Colorado,
Hmm.
and I was giving away this piano, and these guys came to come get it, and they pull up in the driveway. There's four of them. They get out of the car, and Blue had been eating his dinner, and so he had all this dog food. You know, he was eating like a chocolate lab, as chocolate labs do. So he's just taking it all down, and so he hears the truck in the driveway, and he goes running out. I guess dogs don't run like this, but he was running out and starts barking. But he was in the middle of his meal, and so instead of just barking, all of a sudden he's just like puking up these big chunks of dog food in front of these like on these guys' feet. And I'm like, Blue, you only get one chance for a first impression. You know, it's a rough one. That's okay though. He finished his meal. He ate it back up again like a true chocolate lab, and life went on.
Thanks. Thanks for making me feel better. I feel so much better.
So, anyways, good
Yeah.
morning, Nick.
Good morning. Yeah. I mean, it's a wonderful topic. And I'm listening to you tee it up, and I'm thinking there's a whole lot of uh, self awareness and self observation in all of that.
Hmm, hmm.
Because if you don't have that, then it's a bit of a merry-go-round.
Absolutely. And I think that one of the things, the way we trick ourselves, and this is the way I would trick myself for a very long time, is the idea that non-ordinary experiences are taking me to another level. And
Yes.
I remember when I first started having them, like crazy things like UFOs showing up, or beings appearing in in my bedroom at night, and all these energetics would happen. And absolutely, like at first it was going, my paradigm is just getting blown apart of what reality is. And great, that was a huge move forward. At a certain point it became an accepted reality. There wasn't a shock for me now when I would have an experience like that, a non-ordinary reality experience. And it was great. It was, and there's a certain like wow factor, certain entertainment factor, a certain like this is exciting. But I realized after a while, like this isn't really moving me forward. It's not doing what it did at first. It's great to have these synchronicities and these incredible experiences, but they're the baseline now, not the moving forward. And I stayed in them for quite a while, and creating them, for other people, and or, calling in the space to create them for other people. And that was great because it was moving them along. But I realized I had to look for something else that was a little bit more specific to me, because that had become normalized. It wasn't forcing my growth.
So then what happened?
I mean, I think that's when I started, working with coaches, because at first I was like, all the training I did originally, I tried to find mentors and stuff, but it just didn't work. And so all my original training was channeling, was opening up and having these
Mm,
experiences. And at a certain point that stabilized. And so I realized I needed to find really high quality coaches to help me grow and expand, and really to me it was developing the ways that I need to bring what I do to the world.
mhm.
And that was my initial driver, and then of course it affects every area of life. But that piece, and it's funny, right? When I always laugh that it's so much easier for us to develop things when they're related to our work. And so if our work's personal development, that's pretty convenient. Um, but it really was about going, okay, if I want to show up in this bigger way, what do I need to work through inside me? How am I blocking myself? What am I doing to undermine me? How am I, working against what I say my goals are, and where am I playing small?
Yeah.
And that exploration, you know, was not as interesting at first as non-ordinary experiences because it was scary, because it was overwhelming, because there was reasons that I wasn't out there being bigger, being more expansive, being more visible, and I had to work through what those reasons were and the causation behind those reasons. And, continuing that work where, it's funny, I was actually talking with a client the other day about, self-worth, and we can have a high self-esteem, and we can look at our life and go, "Yeah, like, I feel really worthy of my life. My self-worth is great." And then something happens. All of a sudden, we get a jump in income, we get a relationship that asks us to see ourselves in a different way, people start to see us in a different way. We expand, and the world reflects that. And the self-worth necessary to accept, receive, and thrive in that new life is an expansion. And when we think that our self-worth is like, "Oh, yeah, I have a great self-worth." Okay, expand, and you will reveal to yourself that now you have to expand your self-worth. Not necessarily self-esteem, but self-worth. And a high self-esteem, a good healthy self-esteem helps us expand our self-worth. But whenever we get an you know, upscale reflection back, whether it's, relationship, finances, the way people see us, clients showing up who they are, it asks us to recognize a higher level of self-worth. And, I don't think people really talk about that because they don't necessarily, like, it feels like, well, at this level, at this point in my life, I should feel pretty worthy. I have a good self-worth, and expand. And that will reveal to you your next, really, what's next. And what is it that I need to work through in order to accept this? Where am I upper limiting? And, where am I rejecting this new reality or struggling to accept this new reality?
Yeah. So not arguing with the feeling of deservedness, if that's a word. Is
Yeah.
that right?
And we undermine, like, we find ourselves doing little stupid
Yeah.
things that undermine it, maybe saying something dumb that is offensive, or, kind of pushes away opportunities, or
Right.
we miss
Right.
a deadline, or we, forget to get back in an email, like, any of those things that are just really, and to me, like, the clearest indicator was, am I excited about this? Am I eager? Am I going, give me the ball? Like, I want to be part of this.
Mm,
Or are we going, oh shit, okay, I can do this. I can do this. All right.
mm.
Yeah, like, let me I gotta get back to this person, but maybe I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit. I just wanna be in a good place when I get back to him. I need to just process this a little bit, like, those kinds of things that we all do, right? Like, all of a sudden there's a big opportunity. Do we go, "Yes, it's here, let's do this," right? Or do we go, "Whew, this is exciting, but I don't feel excited, I'm just saying it." It's exciting because that's what I've wanted.
Well, that would
And
be
so those internal indicators are great for us to go, "Oh, this is just me needing to expand my self-worth
yeah.
and realizing that I can do this, and this is right, and this is who I am." Um, but it's required,
Yeah.
and I think it's important to do it deliberately.
It's cool. I mean, I'm just tracking what you're saying. And the first one was there was a feeling to it, right? There's a feeling of excitement,
Mhm, mhm.
uh, which is palpable, right? And there's not really a whole lot of thought around it. It's just like feeling and wanting to move forward.
Yeah, yeah.
And the second one is really heady.
Mhm.
It's really like this is really exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
But if I had another word to use, it would probably be overwhelming, and I don't know what the hell to do
Yeah,
with all of
yeah,
this,
pukey.
right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Pukey.
and when you feel the difference, we're like, "Oh, I'm excited, like, I can't wait to move forward," versus like, "Oh, this is exciting. Wow, this
Yeah.
is exciting." Right? Like, that whole idea of, like, I'm on my heels, like, "Holy shit."
Mm.
Versus I'm, on the balls of my feet, like, "Yeah, let's go do this. Let's take this on. This is what I've been waiting for. Put me in."
There's a little bit of a competitive spirit in that.
You know, I guess it could be seen that way. To me, it's like, I'm the guy, like, give me the ball. I wanna
Yeah.
execute this. And
Yeah.
competition, I think, may, make people think that it's, like, against something versus, like, I wanna carry this forward. I'm not competing with anything. I'm ready to bring it and to execute and to make a difference. And
Yeah.
I know I can do it. And I'm,
Yeah. I mean,
self-confidence and
I think we're saying the same things, and there's and you bring up a point. So like my definition of competitive in this context would be, how far can I carry this thing? How far can I push this thing along?
Yeah.
And as you're talking, last week I'm reminiscing of going to a pickleball competition. I was in it. I showed up late for reasons.
Was this a dream or was this a
No,
like a
this is a
real
real
thing?
thing. This is a real thing.
I didn't even know
I
you played pickleball.
I
When
don't.
you're in
I
competitions? When did this all happen? Who are
well,
you?
one, I don't. I mean, I did a little bit. Um, but I showed up, and the guy's like, "Are you here to play?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm here to play." And it's already happening.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, you're well, we'll get you scheduled." And some gentleman who's been sitting on the sidelines goes, "I'll take him. He'll be on my team." And I was like,
Huh.
"Whatever, fine." It didn't matter to me because I just wanted to play,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then I'm realizing, oh shit, like people can actually play here. Like people look forward to this. And I realize the dude who chose me to be on his team, like he's actually pretty good. We have a chance. This just got fun,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I find myself, and it's terrifying, like to be up against people who have like these tennis backgrounds who like rush the net, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. Like I do not play pickleball. I don't.
You're having an
Um,
expansive moment. Yeah.
I'm having a moment, and
Yeah.
it's fun, and it's
Yeah.
fun. And
Yeah.
so I found, and they group folks into three categories of of lanes that you're going to play in. Right?
Yeah.
There was the bronze, the silver, and the gold, and I ended up in the gold. Like the better skilled level. I got to the finals.
Wow.
And then I got totally worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but it was such a fun ride to be like, how far can I take this? Like
Yeah.
I am definitely outmatched. You're
Right.
People on the other side of that net are definitely better players. If we had to do this for a week, they would wipe me, right? It would, but right now it's a ton of fun. And how
Yeah.
far can I play this game and just go and just keep on
Right. Right.
going? It was a ton of fun. So what you're saying, like I'm hearing this experience in
Mm.
terms of like so, there's a challenge right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a challenge, and how do I get to feel about it?
Yeah. And sometimes we're in the bronze and sometimes we're at the bottom of the bronze because it's our first experience and
Right.
we're expanding, sometimes, like we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And sometimes we feel like we really have some agency, some traction,
Yeah.
and a good partner helps, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and somebody that can show us the ropes.
That's right. And you did.
Yeah,
And
and that's fantastic, and, and that go ahead. Go ahead.
but you also need to be in the game, right? Like I
Yeah,
couldn't just be like, "Hey, show me," and hit all the balls for me. Like
mhm,
we would have gotten creamed.
yeah,
Uh,
mm,
but it was like I felt enough of confidence to get that ball over the net in
mhm,
some level of skill.
right,
Uh, and there was no other option than just go for it. Like and
right.
also what's the consequence, right?
Yeah, and
If you
that and
just make it
that's
fun.
an internal piece too, right? If you're embarrassed to go out there and get humiliated, high consequences. If you're just like, "I'm having a
Totally.
good time and I don't care because 'cause I've never done this before. I'm just gonna go for it," then the consequences are low. And then it's interesting too, like, you have that success and you go back again, now you're like, "Well, shit, can I repeat myself?"
Yes.
Now is that
Right.
important? Now have I upped the bar for myself because I had that success out of the gate, and so now I'm actually really overwhelmed because I'm now comparing this to the last time when I had great success, and I don't know that I really maybe it was a fluke, maybe I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I found myself, so I'm part of this group of people, just started to get involved in the past year. And so I go to the organizers and I go, so this is the second time you've done this? Yeah, yes.
Mhm,
People love the first time, or we're doing the second time. And I was like, well, maybe you should do it every 6 months. Maybe it's
mhm.
quarterly. Like I found myself wanting to do it more. Like it was fun. It was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Yeah. It was fun to just go out there and see what you got.
right, right. And that initial piece of, like, what are my expectations for myself? What am I holding myself to? versus is this a exploration and expansion? And when we're in exploration, like we can go like I want to explore, like I am eager. Or we can go, "Oh my god, I don't know that I'm gonna be good." Like, no, you're not. You're not gonna be good.
Now with that attitude.
But, I mean, that whole piece of, like, when we expand, we go, "I'm in over my head." It's
Mhm.
like, you look at people that are you use sports, for example, somebody that's a high school standout, they get to college, and they're just, like, kind of a normal guy on the team, and they're like, "Shit." And if somehow they make it to the pros, they're like, "Everybody's the best in the world."
Yeah.
Like, I have to adjust to myself,
Yeah.
and, expansion's like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, activities, sports are a great way to think about it. I remember growing up in Jersey and it was, small surf.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden the hurricane comes.
Mhm,
And,
mhm,
right. And the first time a hurricane comes, you're used to surfing 3 foot, 4 foot waves. And then all of a sudden
mhm,
it's 8 feet.
mhm,
What do you do with that? You can sit on the
mhm,
beach or you can
mhm.
go out there and figure it out and you
Yeah,
will get worked. You
yeah, you're
will.
you're not gonna be great at it at first. That first wave is probably not gonna be stellar.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And typically wasn't. Um, but then you paddle back out.
Mhm, yeah.
And all
You
you need
become
is
evolve confidence.
one. All you need
Yeah,
is one, right?
mhm,
And you're like, I got it. And that doesn't mean you're not going to screw it up. It doesn't mean
yep,
you're not going to take a
yep,
hit on the head. You will. That's just
yeah,
part of the game at that point.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting, so, like, when we look at this through a coaching lens, you know, it's funny, when I meet people that are looking for a coach, one of 2 things happen. Either they go, "I can see you can help me, like, I can feel it, and it's a lot, it's big." Or they may go, "How the hell do I get out of here?" Like, I'm looking for maybe a coach that's gonna kinda help me maybe just kinda move at a little bit of a lesser angle, maybe not so vertical, but maybe just like a couple of steps up and that feels good. Um, and they wouldn't admit it. They might just go, I mean, maybe some people would, but I think for the most part, what we tend to do is tell ourselves, "Yeah, that doesn't quite feel right. I don't know." I,
Hmm.
I like this kind of lateral move with maybe just a slight incline, and we do that for a while, right? There's no shame, and I've done that.
Hmm.
And then we go, you know what? Like this pace is not going to get me where I want to go. I'm looking more vertical now. I'm looking at going, all right, like I am excited about this. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what it's going to create, but I know that it's going to be coming more of me revealing itself and more of what I'm not falling away. And when that's the recipe, it can't go wrong. My life could change a lot, but it can't go wrong because it's more me. And that question for yourself, are you looking for that? Are you looking to really have that movement where you're like, I'm just dispelling what I'm not and claiming what I am, and that's the game I'm here to play? Or are you going, just like a little more me, a little less not me? um I just want to be a little more assertive. I want to, like, great. At what point do you want to turn the ramp up? And like I said, I'm not knocking that. I'm saying that's what we all do. And then we come to the realization of like, this is pretty lateral what I'm doing.
Hmm.
And you know what? Going to another workshop, having another conversation, maybe it's not really going to take me to the next level. It felt great for a while. It was expansive. I was getting comfortable in this new arena. And now I'm here and now I'm kind of the veteran, or I'm kind of like, I've been here, done that. And it feels good because I feel powerful and familiar, but it's not next leveling me. Is
Hmm.
my self worth ready to be pushed on, to really be forced into an up leveling?
There's
And
only,
when we answer yes to that, that's when shit really changes in our life.
yeah, there's only so much time you can be the master of the merry-go-round. At some point you realize you are, right? I
There's so
mean,
many moves you can do as that little horse goes up and down. Look, I'm been riding it backwards.
yeah. I mean, you
No
don't know that
hands.
you are, and then you realize this is not it.
Yeah, I'm just playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And what was work, and I don't mean work as in hard work, but what was expansion becomes play. And when our expansion becomes play, it's a really good indicator for us that we're moving lateral, we're treading water. And it could be fun, but is that what we're really looking for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. And so, yeah, I mean, this topic comes from the idea of really what is it like? Like, it's so interesting to me, when I'm at different events with these high level operating people, and I can just really feel the ones that are like, oh shit, how do I get out of this conversation? How do I get away from David? Versus people are like, oh, this is exciting. I want this. And, that self reflection is huge. What do we
Uh-huh.
create? And
Uh-huh.
our life always reflects it.
Yeah,
Our
and that is
income
the
always
question, right?
reflects it. Our
That's the question
relationships
right
always
there.
reflect it. The
Yeah,
impact we're having on the world always reflects it. Powerful stuff.
good chat.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks so much for listening. And if you're ready to turn that curve a bit more vertical, a little less horizontal, uh, check out the webpage, davidwaldas.com. And you have your webpage up too, like
I
nickmusica.com.
do.
And so,
That's it. That's the
yeah,
one.
we're both available for coaching. And so, yeah, would love to hear from you. Awesome. Thanks so much for listening. Hope this hit home and sparked a little fire under you. And thanks for listening. Have a great week. We hope you enjoyed listening to today's podcast. And if you did, please subscribe so you can catch the next episode. If you want to learn more about the Aligned Living System and how it could support you in your life, check out davidwaldas.com.